All right, this is the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Chemicals found in extensions marketed for black women. Here it is. A style often deemed as protective for black women is now under scrutiny as two new studies warn of health risks in hair extensions. On Tuesday, Consumer Reports revealing new findings that human, synthetic, and plant-based hair extensions from 30 brands have volatile organic compounds or heavy metals like lead. Human hair, by far, had the most lead that we've ever seen in testing these products, orders of magnitude above synthetic hairs. The study looked at 3 samples of each brand, and there were some exceptions. One product with no heavy metals, another with low heavy metals. So that tells us that these manufacturers can make a safer product. Nearly a year ago, we spoke with medical student Crystal Thomas, whose commentary on braiding hair led to Consumer Reports' first analysis.
I noticed my hair was itching. It was just difficult to breathe overall.
Now, research is expanding. The Silent Spring Institute, a scientific research nonprofit, testing 43 hair extension products.
We found chemicals in these products that are associated with cancer, reproductive harm, and also birth defects.
The hair containing 169 chemicals, including flame retardants and pesticides.
We found that all but 2 of the products that we looked at contained at least one of those hazard chemicals.
How exactly, though, are the chemicals entering the body? Because someone might say, well, it's on my head.
Right.
What's the big deal?
Yeah, and so what's really important to know is the scalp is, we call it well vascularized. It has lots of blood vessels, and so it can absorb whatever you put on it, whatever cream, whatever product you put on it. And so the scalp can easily absorb the chemicals that are in these braids.
This is a hell of a study, hell of an analysis, not theory, not conjecture, but fact based on the analysis of chemical construct. Now remember, the extensions obviously are epidermal. They're on the outside of the skin. But the chemicals they're citing are transdermal. They're able to absorb through the skin tissue and into the blood. Put it up full mass.
All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, and we're here to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like it to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, just get right into it. You know, you just saw this clip, you know, talking about these toxic chemicals in the synthetic hair that a lot of Jake women use, causing so many problems. You know, skin conditions, reproductive. You know, just a whole bunch of stuff that's going on, and why
Cancer. Say cancer.
Cancer, yeah. And this is not medical misinformation. Just want to make that clear. Those are things that were said in the video, which we'll put a link to it in the description box.
Got it.
All right. So yeah, just a lot of stuff is going on, and Jake women, you know, not supposed to be using this stuff because of the things that it does. But we know why. You know, this the things that go on with their hair and scalp is one of those curses from them being so haughty.
Yep.
You know, extremely proud, just like Esau Edom. All right.
And also, too, just to add to your point, I read the scripture, but you have it where you women that have men of the Lord, that's of the southern kingdom, you come into the truth, and you have decent hair, you should be thankful.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? You learn from your husband not to put that shit in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be the lies or perms and this weave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because now you see now what's coming out.
Yeah.
See, this is why, you know, scripture say a man is a covering of a woman. The covering goes into protection, or shielding you from what? All the evil that's around. This evil all around you. As you can see, this is chemical warfare on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And her hair, when it's right, is her covering. You get that in 1 Corinthians 11.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's our glory. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yep. This is 1 Corinthians.
Once around 7 or 8.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians hold on.
11.
No, let's go up a little bit.
Okay.
1 Corinthians 11 and 4. It says,
Let's start at 3.
well,
Just so-
verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, which is Yahweh Shai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High.
That's just going to prove to you that, you know, the man is the woman's covering. Okay, and then when you get down, like we're going to, you're going to show you what, you know, why a man is not supposed to cover his head and the woman's hairs. Because man is the glory of the Most High. Okay? The woman is the glory of the man. But let's go ahead and get into that.
Verse 4, it says, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonored his head. But every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered, dishonored her head. For that is even all one, as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man. All right, it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And it says, jumping down to verse 13, 14, it says, does not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering.
So, and one thing that was mentioned is that you look at the people, the women in Babylon, it's nothing for them now to cut their hair, shave their hair down.
Yep.
And that should be, it's like a shame. Like you had it even in the law when the man, you know, they went to war. A lot of women had long hair.
Yeah.
But what was the thing that the man would do when he took that woman to have her? He, you know, he would let her mourn her family for a month, full month. Then he would mar her nails,
Pare her nails,
and he would shave her head. Right? And that was a humbling, you know, to that woman. So just to show you, and then of course she would grow it back, but you know, it's just a showing that was a glory, you know, unto a woman, you know.
Because now she's under him, and you know, a lot of these places like those Indians, you know, they curse their hair, you know, and would be before they send it to us, and with you know, this woman here, you know, hey, they got to cut it. The man got to cut it off so she can start fresh.
And this is also proof that the daughters of the Southern Kingdom, which is known as the daughters of Jerusalem, is the so-called black woman. This applies to them, the women of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, you know, because the curse is heavily upon them, because they the ones that suffer with this curse we're getting ready to read right here in Isaiah 3. It says in Isaiah 3 and 16. Moreover, the Lord said unto me, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, and walking and missing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. So there you go, man. The Lord smiting the crown on the head, and it's mainly through, you know, you letting the serpent beguile you. All right, because these corporations are owned by the elites, man. All right, and then the heathen. Because you look at, you know, the hair industry itself is an $8 billion plus dollar industry a year. Not just the hair alone, like 6 or 8 billion. You know what I mean? Which that's money that can be in your community.
Well, here's the thing. It could be, but a lot of these shops, they got them blocked out. Okay, and then what they would do when they do try to start and open stuff, they would you know, buy one of their products, which you can't keep them from doing, send it back home, make a duplicate and make it cheaper, and then undercut them.
Yep.
So that's how Jake was losing out. You know.
All in all, you know, You're not supposed to put that stuff in your head.
Right.
And now you see the results of you putting it in your head, man. It's all because you're proud, basically. You're proud, you speak against your man, you think you do all better, without your man. And without you having a husband, you're suffering. Because, a lot of women come up with fibroid cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how you got it was because you're putting all these chemicals in your head and these fake hair or even the human hair.
Mm-hmm.
He said the human hair was the worst.
Yep.
With high levels of lead.
Mm-hmm.
And you look up what lead, as far as the effects of lead, what it have on the body, it attacks your neural system. All right, which your brains are part of that. So that's probably what causing you women to,
I got it right here.
Yep.
Yep. It says the question is lead in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And it said lead in the brain. It says acts as a dangerous neurotoxin that mimics calcium, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and disrupts vital nervous system functions.
So that's about as bad as eating pork, because they got the only parasite that goes across the blood-brain barrier.
Wow.
Yeah.
It says there is no safe level of lead exposure since children face the highest risk of permanent cognitive and behavioral damage. It says users on Reddit research a consensus that lead acts as a competitive inhibitor, blocking crucial ion channels and scrambles nerve signals.
Also, see that's why they get on the internet every day saying stupid shit. That's why that stuff you getting drugged in the worst way. Instead of getting to your bloodstream, going to the brain, you poisoning your brain directly. Did they have some behaviors?
I said cognitive.
Cognitive. And I'm talking about
I got some
stuff you can
here.
see.
Yeah, but let me if I could. I think we just read that. So here's some symptoms and effects in children. This is low IQ scores, learning delays.
Yep. See, you talk about being the most educated demographic in the country, and don't even have common sense.
And I know we're talking about the daughters, in Zion, but keep in mind, all these women are putting these extensions and things in their head, as well. So-called white women be putting these extensions in their hair also, and going and getting braids and certain things too. The so-called, Latin women, Chinese, they all are. Because again, they all been Babylonianized. Let's say it that way, right?
Yeah, Babylonian Jews.
Yep, they've been Americanized. But here's another one. It says trouble paying attention.
Oh my goodness.
And hyperactive. Hyperactive speech and language problems, permanent behavioral and developmental issues.
Yeah. What's that lady's name that wrote the Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Man?
Shahrazad Ali.
Yeah, she was saying most so she was speaking to black women don't develop past the age of 14.
Yeah. Here, check this.
They get their hair perm when they younger than that.
Yeah.
So by the time they even 14, they probably got the fucking comprehension of a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So symptoms and effects in adults: memory loss, trouble concentrating, mood changes, and irritability.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Your irritability, mood changes.
Mm-hmm.
High risk of brain decline over time, such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease.
Mm-hmm.
Numbness or tingling in the hands and feet. Common sources of exposure. So no, we don't worry about that.
That Alzheimer's, and any woman you see that they love that movie, The Notebook. James Garner, I forget the other lady.
Oh, well, yeah, let me read this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because it says common sources of exposure. It says old pill and paint or lead dust in house built in 1978. It says contaminated drinking water from old pipes. But then here's one. It's like
that's in every J community.
Yep.
All the cities of America, which urban cities, they have high levels of lead in the drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Been like that for over 50 years. Since the 60s, actually, as it reported.
Mm-hmm.
So that's attacking you too. You gotta bathe and shit.
Yeah.
And you gotta remember for a long time, it wasn't no bottled water.
Nope.
Bottled water, I don't know what time it come. You probably can know when bottled water came around. I ain't seen bottled water.
Remember.
Probably had to been in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Early 90s, but then you had more of what, a Gatorade and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah.
bottled waters for real.
Yeah, me in late 90s when I started seeing it really more and more.
It says polluted soil and specific imported products or ceramics. So what is an imported?
Import products that weave.
God.
So yeah, man, this back in Isaiah 3, and this proved too, cause like the Elam, East Indians, they profit off that. Moab,
Yep.
you know, this is why what's that? First Maccabees 2, where it speaks about who have not gotten of her spoils. This
2 and
is
10.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
grab it.
That because every nation profit off of us Israelites, man. If I was to get Lamentations 2 as well.
First Maccabees 2 and 10. Yeah, I got that.
This one, the Lamentation. Those were
2 and
chapter
15.
2 and 15. I get it.
First Maccabees 2.
So you heathen man, all you heathen man that it speaks about in Psalms 83, you gotta pay a heavy price for what you've done and how you benefited off us being in slavery. You helped take advantage, all right, of us when we were down. You know?
This is First Maccabees 2 and 10, and it reads, "What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?"
And that's all you fucking heathen nations, man.
Yep.
Okay? You've gotten part of the spoils of Israel, man, which is what? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. All right? And the men, women, and children, man. Here it is. This shit attacks the reproductive organs and give them fibroid cancer, and it's going to cancer. That's what it pertains to mainly. But you're trying to basically shut the womb up of our women, because that happened in ancient Egypt.
Yep.
You know, basically they were trying to cut us off then. So that show you that this place is, like it says in Revelation 11 and 8, spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah, and well, shoot, you go right, you know exactly who it is in spiritual Sodom and Egypt, because Esau in Romans 9 is compared directly to Pharaoh of ancient Egypt. The same thing, you know, to kill all the males at birth. Okay, you got all these abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood, and who knows what's in those damn prenatal vitamins.
Condoms, remember?
Yeah, condoms, yeah.
Most high, what the most
Plan B.
Plan B, and then most recently, look at how, you know, we know Bill Gates wants to reduce the population, but yet they making this stuff called Blue Chew.
Yeah.
Like the gold, and it slides right by. They said, well, it does something to the brain too. It sends stuff to the brain. Who gonna do it? Why are you trying to make everybody have sex when you're trying to kill everybody? Make it make sense.
And that's the thing is crazy because that's something that pops up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, in these feeds.
Yeah, for physicians of no value.
Yep, I got that Lamentation.
Good.
Yeah, where you have more?
No, that was it.
Yep, this is Lamentations. You said chapter 2, verse 15, right? It says, "All that pass by clap their hands at thee; they hiss and wag their head at the daughters of Jerusalem, saying."
Yeah, basically they talk shit. You know, they puff up at us. Because why? They see us in the lower state. Basically, they see us in our weak state, no might in our hands, and basically defenseless.
They see our men, like Jeremiah talks about being a degenerate
Vine,
degenerate vine. They see our men in a, if you got it, They see our men in a degenerate way, right? And then they look at our women and see that they're out of control, that we have no control, and that they follow Esau, Edom, you know, in their ways. And so they look at us and they like, look at these folks. These are which is the next verse or the next line. It says, they hiss and wag their head at the daughters of Jerusalem, saying, "Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, that the joy of the whole earth.
Yep. And truth be told, we are. Even
Yeah.
though we're in this lower state, we are.
That's what this says here, this next scripture.
Yep. And also to back your point up too, you made Jeremiah 30 and I think it's verse 17.
Okay.
It says, well, we get after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is the back here. This is Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Yeah, because our people started taking on the customs of the heathen, which he told us not to do, and that made us strange to the Lord.
They don't even recognize you, you know?
Yep. And then again, a lot of our women used to put the blonde hair,
Yeah.
you know, and put in the contacts to look like to mimic what Esau called beauty. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yep. They all had got that perm. Y'all even remember back in the day.
While at the same time, Esau and their women are trying to get butt implants, and they was getting lip injections. They go into the tan to get darker, and so they know that we are the perfection of beauty when they look at the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American men and women and children. Especially, you know, and especially it becomes more evident when they see the men that are rising up in their right state.
Yeah.
Like you brought out earlier, not to go too far, but just like when the brothers come and they see the water and they see, you know, just it's the spirit that's on us that sets us apart from the regular men that's out in the world, you know. And so of course, if the daughter of Zion, you know, is acting, you know, and trying her best, she's going to stand out as well.
Yep.
You know, if she's doing right by Yahweh Shai, and if she has a husband, her husband.
We're like, it's like you got a royal family, right? And you know our royal family is brought up, you know, the care of them. You got this one fucking daughter or son, it don't matter, that's just fucking wild and embarrassing the family.
Called the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, just embarrassing the family. You know, see the nation of Israel is the Most High's wife. All right, the Lord said, "Well, I married them to you." Meaning, well, He's joined them to us. So, just like a woman when she act all a goddamn fool, and she got a husband, that's an embarrassment to him.
Yeah.
So, us going off from the Most High was an embarrassment. That's why the Lord allowed us to, you know, be put to shame in these lands. Because why? We embarrassed Him because He made a covenant with us. He joined unto us. And He gave us, like I say, He made us holy a right seed. He said noble vine, right? So when we went from that, the Lord like, oh, y'all want to act the fool? Well, go ahead. That's why the Lord make a mockery of us, because why? It was foolish for us to go away from Him. Because now the heathen can take advantage of us and devour us. You know? They can swallow us. They can swallow us up down there. If it had not been for the Lord stopping them and preserving us, the remnant, right? Go ahead.
No, I was going to back you up. You know, this is Proverbs 31 and 23. It says, her husband, talking about the wife, is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
See?
All right? So, pretty much that's what we was going into earlier, 1 Corinthians 11. You know? The man is the image and glory of the Most High, and the woman is the glory of the man.
Yep.
All right?
In particular, the Israelite man.
The Israelite man. And how is he know? Because the thing is, like, you know, this woman here, you know, if her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land, he's teaching her the right thing. Okay?
She asked her,
Disorder the woman. Let me get that in Sirach 26, 25.
Yeah. And while you grab that, let me bring this out real quick. This is noble. It says having or showing high moral character. So he gave us the laws and commandments what made us above all nations.
What nation is made is so great? They have this law, roughly parallel. Let me grab that.
Then it says courage, generosity. It says it can also describe something of high birth, aristocratic rank, or something that is grand or impressive in appearance. So the Lord made us a very special people unto Himself.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
Yep.
You are a holy people above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
You got it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, this is Deuteronomy 4, which goes into that. Beginning in verse 7. Says, for what nation is there so great who have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for? Verse 8. And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? So that's the thing that makes us above every nation on the earth. Okay, having the laws, statutes, and commandments. And I can grab that Deuteronomy 7:6 right here.
See, and while you're getting that, one thing the apostles always say is, you can tell how a nation is doing by looking at their women.
Yeah. Yep.
And you can see the so-called, because the so-called black woman, that's the head tribe woman, Judah. Yahweh, which is the so-called black or Negro or so-called African Americans. So many titles have been placed upon them and the whole nation, you know. But in particular, them being the head tribe, you know.
Yeah, you got Mary McLeod Bethune as a famous quote that says, "The true measure of a race is judged by the character of its woman."
See?
Yeah, she said that loud and clear. This is Deuteronomy 7:6, and it reads, "For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all that are upon the face of the earth." So, hey, they want to call Jake racist. Our God is.
That's right.
For his people. Above all people. So assimilation, integration was never going to work for us.
Yep.
Because if we're placed above all people that are upon the face of the earth, that means that we have to come low. And he never intended for us to do that. All right? And this stuff going on with this weave is a prime example of our women being brought low. All right?
This is I'm gonna bring this out too. Speaking about the woman, right? How you can look and know how a nation's doing based on looking at that woman, right? And we speak about how our nation behave towards the Most High, right? This is Sirach 25, and I'll start at verse 17. It says, "The wickedness of a woman changes her face and darken her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he hear this, shall sigh bitterly." You know? So
damn, this bitch coming on now.
yeah, so imagine how the Most High was, thinking about us as we was, going off and, running to these heathen, trying to worship their other gods. I mean, their gods, which are no gods, and that was a shame, man. To us, man. And, that moved Heavenly Father to wrath, man. And he didn't just punished the men; he punished the women as well, man.
Yeah.
All right. This is why you look at this whole city girl culture. It starts with the so-called black women, and then it trickles down to the so-called Latin and Native women. That's getting into it as well, And they all doing as the so-called black woman, which is the tribe of Judah women, the Judite women, right? They doing the same shit she doing. She wear weave or extensions. They wear weave and extensions. You see fucking Dominican women. You see Puerto Rican women. You see Mexican women. Colombian, Cuban, so forth, so on. All the 12 tribes or other 11 tribes outside of the head tribe follow the lead tribe. All right, ways and trends that it sets. Because Judah set the trends for the rest of the tribes. Whatever Judah get into and where, usually the other tribes will, follow suit.
On it, Barzal, could you speak on the feminist movement? What was the woman name?
Oh, Gloria Steinem. Amalekite.
Steinem.
Yep. Steinem. Yeah, Amalekite. That's where I forget the Judite woman's name, but you got them standing side by side with the pump
That's
fist.
what I wanted to bring out. What the brother's saying, they use our people to push their agendas. But go ahead, continue.
And our women were doing just fine. They were having a problem with their own men, like they're having a day. You're seeing it all over again. Now they really showing their disdain for the men because they got the power to speak. But what they did, not only with that feminist movement, they used that as to catapult the man out of the house rule. Okay, separate the feminist movement, separated the black man. What's her name? Look her name up. Sister's name. Judite woman's name in that group. they used her to marry the government instead of staying married to a man. And the laws were
Dorothy Pittman.
Okay.
Dorothy Pittman Hughes.
Yeah, they were. The laws were much different when it came to that man out of the house rule. Esau could still come home after the war and live in his house. She can collect the benefits, but no, if they found Jake in the home, they would do what they call random checks.
Yeah.
The social worker, random checks would come by. If they see anything new in that house, they gonna the doctor. And then after that, if they can't prove, how they got it, found out a man did it, they kick them off the program.
So then you fast forward, and then you see, and again, we're talking about like Esau is attacking you women and also using you, at the same time, right? So you fast forward to songs like "Can You Pay My Bills?" I Could Do Bad All By Myself. What's some other ones? Get your Freakum Dress. I know Beyonce keeps coming up, but they use I Don't Want No Scrub. See, all these were being pushed even in the music. They're using our women to pretty much
single ladies
down all my single ladies to downplay the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American man. But of course, the Judite man being the head is being greatly affected, by it.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring out something real quick. I'm just going to get straight to the point, but just to give some background on it, this isn't anything new, and things written aforetime are also written for our learning. Now, during the time of the Medes and the Persians, you had Esther, the book of Esther. This is chapter 1, and this is dealing with in the days of Ahasuerus. But I just want to get down to a point. Artaxerxes. You had he called for his wife Vashti to come out, and she refused. All right, and so he called a council of some of the 7 men that came. He would see them face to face and talk with them, and said, "Hey, what should we do for her disobedience?" All right, and then they said, "This is verse." Just getting to the point. He says, verse 15 is what they stated. They says, "We should do unto the queen Vashti according to the law, because she have not performed the commandment of the king Artaxerxes or Ahasuerus by the chamberlains." It says, and then I jump down to 17. It says, "For this deed," let me see, hold on. There was a statement that they've made I want to get. And it says in verse 16, "And Memucan answered before the king and the prince, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king or Ahasuerus." Right? So what they're saying is, by her being in this top level rank, by her being disobedient to the king, as the king, so are his servants, and also all the people. So now she's being disrespected. She's disrespecting the king. Now I'm gonna keep reading. It says
it's an embarrassment to him.
Yep.
Because she's in a noble position as a queen.
Verse 17, it says, "For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported that the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not." So, go ahead, speak on it. You got it.
No, I was saying, so that's basically an example of disorder.
God.
So that's a good example. The nation of Israel basically became a disorderly nation once we left from the laws, commandments, statutes, and judgments.
And then you fast forward to the day, and you see how Esau is playing that same playbook of, hey, let's use the women, and as we use the feminist movement, they brought and then they'll bring the so-called Black man, Hispanic, Native Indian man to be the front runners of these things, and then our people jump on board, right? And so these vain words. We kind of spoke about these false doctrines and philosophies, and now you have the men that have the light that can actually tell you what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's why the separation of the man and woman is so important. How they indoctrinate our people. Once they separate the man and woman, well, the man is the protection and foundation of a family, like it says in Sirach 3. And if you don't have that, the family ain't no good. The women and children are going to be spoiled.
Right.
So that's how, you know, Esau mixed, you know, your women and your kids into, you know, basically degenerates, man. Because why? That man ain't there. That foundation ain't there. That protection ain't there to keep them from all the shit that's around them. Which we're in the valley of the shadow of death, man.
Yeah.
You know, and this proves it. This attack on the women, the women of Judah. You know what I mean? That's it on that.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I have a precept real quick. Jeremiah 30:17. It says, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds," said the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, "This is Zion, whom no man sticketh after." And that's exactly these heathens' attitudes towards us, man. This is Zion. Nobody, you know, who cares about them? Well, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua care about us. Begin with the elect. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is why the Lord is getting ready to deal recompense to you heathen, man.
Yep.
For what you've done to Jerusalem. All right, which Jerusalem is the people of Jerusalem, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, which, you know, we're the Israelites, man. You know, and there's a heavy judgment coming for you heathen, especially you Edomites, because you Edomites are in power, and you allow the other heathen to take advantage of us too, because y'all always in cahoots, according to Psalms 83.
Always.
It says what they have
Taking crafty counsel.
they are confederate against thee.
Yep.
They are confederate against thee. The word confederate, when you look up confederate, right?
Con with.
Right, they can sound.
Mm-hmm. Let me grab an online etymology. You say something about?
No, I was just putting making something out.
Confederate.
Yeah,
The word confederate from online etymology. It says to unite in a league or alliance. So this is what you heathen was against us. You was united, all right? You was allies one to another to come against us. It even speaks about that in Revelation 11. How y'all was sending gifts one to another, all right?
Yep.
Because why? Y'all had to capture the daughter of Jerusalem, because why? It was time for us to go into slavery. So ultimately the Lord allowed, you know, us to go into slavery under you. But then it says in Zechariah 1:15 that you forwarded our affliction.
Yep.
This is forwarding the affliction of our women, beginning with the women of Judah, man. Because if they're doing it to Judah, best believe they're doing this to the rest of the tribes. Like I said, all the other tribes, so-called Latin women, so-called Native women, they all follow the women of Judah's trend. Mm-hmm. And this is why you got so-called Latin women, they even got fucking abortion pills or on birth control now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They you see, especially Simeon and Ephraim and Issachar, these women, when you look at these podcasts, Radio Pure podcasts, them the main women be up right behind Judah. You know, Simeon, Ephraim, Issachar, and you got Manasseh be in there at times. You know, Naphtali, they be in there, man, because why? They're all geared towards whoredom.
Yep.
They're all geared towards whoredom. But now you're gonna find out that a lot of you so-called Black, Latino, Native American women are gonna start to become very sickly.
Yep.
And have these, well, it said, cancer even?
Fibroids, yeah.
Fibroid cancer. So a lot of you through.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you get through the rest of that Isaiah 3?
No, I'm holding that shit. I'm gonna get back to it.
These curses, you know, we was talking about how this affected the women of Judah the most. You know, what he started on about the scab on the crown, man, that's just the beginning of it. This should be worse.
Mm-hmm. It says back in Isaiah 3:16, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making the tinkling with their feet. And you know, also, I was thinking about the scripture too, but we ain't got to get it though. It says, where there's no hedge, the possession is spoiled.
Oh, that's Sirach 34.
Mm-hmm. It's talking about the women.
Yep.
So, you know, that's a lot of the reason why you women are being destroyed by, or being swallowed up by these heathen anyway.
Well, real quick, because you said wanton eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so wanton goes into
Lustful.
unrestrained, undisciplined, living in excess, self-indulgence. And what do you see when you flip through? They like, oh, my makeup, my eyelashes, and they like, look at my outfit, and everything is like, you know, this is what I'm wearing today. I got this person.
We outside.
You know, so a lot of it is in, like I said, she that live in pleasure.
I was just finna quote that.
Head while she living.
Get out my head.
And again, this is just the prophets. We come across this video, and this is alarm being sound to any of the women who are still putting process in their hair, that are still using putting the hair, you know, into their heads. This is just a warning that's coming from on high, from Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to bring it forth. You know, we may laugh and chuckle a little bit, of kind of be on a I told you so, but the thing is, you know, this isn't the first time it's being spoken of. Our head apostles have been speaking this for years, you know, but the Lord is bringing it back out. So again, if you come across this, you know, take more heed to the warning and the information that's being brought out, because this is really for the saving of your soul.
Isaiah 3:17. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts.
So for the longest time, the Judite woman has always dealt with, you know, I remember growing up in the black community, so-called, and it was always putting in the hair, getting braids. It's always trying to, it was having a hard time growing their hair. And the guys actually was able to grow their hair, growing froze and stuff like that. And they were getting perms and things. So it was like, it's always been a situation. Hair has always been a thing for our women because of the scripture that we brought out before that is the Lord.
Yeah, I can remember, man, when they would try to pull that ponytail so tight, the hair would come out on the sides. And you just, as a girl, you knew she could fight.
A little fan ponytail.
Yeah, like a Woody Woodpecker on the top.
Yeah, about 2 inches, and then just spread like a little church fan. Verse 18. Hey, bro. Hey, verse 18. Slide. That little fan ponytail. And like a little church fan slide. Verse 18.
Little peacock hair.
Yeah, little like a little.
They put some little beads on it and stuff and colors.
Yo. It says, in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their claws, and their round ties like the moon.
Yeah, because in the law it talks about the tender and delicate woman, you know, and now they've got that spirit. A lot of them got the spirit of a man on them, you know. They be out there fighting barefoot in the middle of the street, you know, and a lot of it, again, going back to pregnant, a lot of stuff that they got, like what they're putting on their bodies, the chemicals that's on their bodies, and again, with how they are processing their hair, you know.
It's really a and you think about it, right? I'm gonna get back to the scripture. It's like a double whammy to them, because they'll fucking perm their hair before they get the weed put in there.
Yeah.
So like, it's like a fucking just a, oh man, let's verse 19. Excuse me. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs.
Bonnets. You got them all over the place too. Bonnets in the scriptures. And you know that's talking about Judite.
Yeah, but the bonnet was actually like a scarf though. That wraps around the head and cover their hair. You know, like I seen the woman earlier today, you know, at the little health market we go to, and she had her hair covered up, and she had a long skirt too. And I looked up, and she was looking at me. I looked at her, and I was like, man, you know, I'm gonna keep walking, because shit, you know, usually a woman that's in order like that, she usually got men.
Right.
So I just kept going, but I was like, you know, damn, at least the sister got on some Mazda Superior, a hair covered up and shit. You know what I mean? Went on the health store, got my shit, and got on out of there. But
now here's something
to see that, because you usually don't see that with our women.
And here's something that's spiritual about what he just brought out. There was a respect from seeing her modest apparel.
Yep.
There was a respect thing of, even if this assumption was there, could have just been her father. You know that that she is dressed like, you know, the way she is, but he still was like, there's a man, you know, I respect the situation, You know, and how they approach. So scriptures talk about, you know, women dressing in modest apparel, you know, and being discreet and how they move as well. So, you know, getting in order is a beautiful thing in the sight of the Heavenly Father.
Well, they want respect, but they don't know how to get respect. A woman like that, I respect her because I can see, you know, of course, you know, through age you get experience with women. You tell when a woman got a man or not. You know what I'm saying?
So like you said, even with the fathers, you remember in the ancient times, the daughter went directly from the father to her husband.
Yeah, he give his daughter away and give. It was speaks about the weighty. I'll get it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, in Exodus, when you actually read, he goes into like the possessions. It says, "Thou shalt not covet," and he goes, "Thy neighbor's wife, house, manservant, maidservant, cattle, ass, anything that is thy neighbor." So she is a possession of the husband.
I'm holding that too.
This is real quick. Sirach 7:25. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. You got that.
This is
this
came out twice today. This is Sirach 36 and beginning verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Verse 25. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Okay, and the hedge is the man. All right. It says, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning. And we saw a pure example of that in 1 Samuel 30, when the Amalekites came in, when David and his men were fighting at Ziklag. You know, came back and the wives were gone, and they were mourning at that time.
Yeah.
So that hedge protection needs to be around, and that should be a warning, like you said before. This is a warning to those women. We telling y'all, but y'all bullheaded, man. You won't listen. Think you know everything. You know, you think that misguided education, you know, has made you above, you know, everybody. You know, it's just got you in debt. Okay, now they kicking you out of those jobs. You can't do nothing with that degree. All right, but we warning y'all. You know, in that day, and that Isaiah 3 goes right into Isaiah 4:1. You know, you women are going to be looking hard, but it's going to be too late. A lot of y'all don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. All right, you're going to suffer that day.
And then last part of verse 25, it says that he that hath no wife will wander up and down in the morning. Yep. You heard that all through Jake's songs, man. Yeah, he was always, you know, you look at these old school songs up until now. Well, not so much nowadays, but you know, I would say the 90s, early 2000s maybe. You had Jake singing about, you know, the women loving their women, getting their women back. You know, and that's a way of Judah was mourning. Judah was fucking mourning through their music.
God.
You know, they were losing their women. That separation of the family started way back in hardcore captivity, hardcore slavery. Yeah. And then you look at during the 60s and shit, all that music about love and getting their woman back, whatever. You know, the Assistance Act of 1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That was during that time period.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man, back in that day, y'all can remember, it was those black love posters. You know, you had the man, woman with the afro, you know, hugging each other.
Yeah, like proud.
Yeah, line up all over your basement and stuff like that. All that's gone, man. It was really getting that away. Well, here's the thing. You talked about Lyndon B. Johnson, J. Edgar Hoover. So the number one threat to the United States is Negro unity. And they did everything they could to break that up. And still doing it.
Now look at the so-called Negro today. Just look at the women.
Yeah.
You know, which is Judah. Gotta say that. You know, that's the tribe of Judah. You know what I'm saying?
And the sons. I just saw an article the other day, or a clip the other day. School wanted to send the little boy home. His mama had sent him to school with a skirt on.
Yeah.
Talking about she gonna sue.
Principal was like, nah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Real quick, we brought this out. Well, we talked about it, but this Sirach 25:1. It says, "In three things I was beautified and stood up, beautiful before both before the Most High. Let me read this again for like it says, in 3 things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful before the Most High and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, and a man and a wife that agree together. So that's beautiful in the eyesight of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, marriage, because again, he's married unto the children of Israel, and we are the physical representations on earth of a man and a wife when they come together, right? Being fruitful and multiply. Yeah. She become a helpmeet unto that man to push forth the endeavor, that he's pushing forth in. And as you're an Israelite man, it should be the whole duty of man is keeping the commandments of the Most High and doing the work of the Heavenly Father to the best of our ability until Yahushua returns. But Esau is completely contrary to the Heavenly Father. Mm-hmm. So that's where that Proverbs 6 we always bring in, and he says, "He that soweth discord among brethren," the curses, right? When it says, "His eye shall be evil toward the wife of his bosom," or the brother, his brother. Mm-hmm. Esau's been a major player in the music and all the different functions of our life because we had to go to him for the one of all things. So he then set stipulations that will break us apart and cause division amongst the households. Especially if you have this truth.
God. That's something just to back you up. This is going all the way to the beginning, what that unity meant. It says, Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. It says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." In agreement. That was the whole thing. You're supposed to be together.
And what did the serpent do to Adam and Eve when they came together? The serpent came to Eve and caused the division. That the serpent being a man, a physical man, spit false some deep game and caused her to to go off. And then her husband.
And we can we can speculate this. She had to be taught, because remember, in the garden, the Lord gave a command not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. He had not presented her to him yet, but yet she told him exactly what the Lord said about not eating from that the tree of knowledge of good and evil. She said that, which means that was you can see that from the scriptures, like 1 Corinthians says, if a woman learned anything, she learned from her husband who was at home.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 14.
Yeah. So that's that right there proves, that he was the same yesterday, today, and forever. It never changed.
Can I get something real quick?
Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. It says, "The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them." So again, just like Eve in the garden, just like we call so-called black Native American and Indian woman Eve, in today's time, you're seduced by all the trinkets and things that the world has to provide. And when you are in a household with a husband, and especially one that's a man of the Lord, and there's order, it seems boring unto you. But that's a lot of that restraint and discipline is protection, for the things that are outside in the world. And so it's important to take heed to your husband and listen, and move in the spirit in which he's in, especially if he's a man of the Lord, because this moving in that way is going to bring protection.
Lot's wife.
God.
Her example. Told her what not to do, she did it anyway. Yeah, now she's a mineral.
It said not to look back. Yeah, don't look back. And that's just a sign of an unbelieving soul. Go ahead. You got
finish up this Isaiah 3. Back in Isaiah 3. And I'm going to jump down to the point, verse 24. It says, "And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there should be stink." And that's true, because a lot of you women out there don't know how to take care of your bodies, man. Man, your vagina be just through, man.
Come on, your pH off. It's more than that.
Yeah, you eat what you eat plays a part of that. Oh, this chemicals you put in your head, this weed that's going to your head.
The lotion, different lotions and stuff. Products.
Baby powder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certain perfumes and the different chemicals you put on your body that absorbs into your skin.
So this is something that's.
They say your skin is like one of the biggest organs.
It is the
biggest.
Yeah.
It's the biggest organ. So you put, and I know women good for going to the nail shop and the chemicals. They put acrylic and different stuff on them toes and the fingers, and over time, you don't know what it really does to when it goes into your pores. When it goes into your skin.
Yeah, that shit is got harmful chemicals on it, and you got your woman. You should cook your food. That fucking acrylic shit on her hands, on her nails. Shit on her nails. That's going into the food. She's poisoning. Now she's poisoning you. That's why women need to. You need to be under a man. Point blank. Period. It's gonna show in Jacob's time of trouble.
Yeah.
It says and it should come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there should be stink, and instead of a girdle or rent.
And if I could just throw this piece out there too, because it sounds like I can't do nothing. No, there's alternative ways to you can buy things for yourself as far as you do your own nails, learn how to do your own nails, learn how to buy your own oils and things to put on your body. That's the discipline of things. Like we're in a system that is fast food. I want it now. And you don't want to learn and take time to do these things for yourself unless you get monetary gain from it. You'll go to school, you go to college and do all of that for those things, but things that's going to really protect you and help you remain healthy to the best of our ability, you can learn and do those things. Like when we found out, we're not supposed to eat pork, shellfish, catfish, and then we go and we find, there's other alternatives that we could actually
lawful,
that are lawful, that are good in the eyesight of the Heavenly Father. Yep.
It says, what was that? Instead of a girdle.
Yep. It says instead of a girdle, a rent.
And see, notice a lot of them when that gut be out, they try to put their hand when they take a picture. We can still see your stomach.
They do still put on. They got those new waist trainers and things too.
Man,
and you training.
Yeah,
you see it a lot.
That thing. Okay, even when they wear those, you got stuff coming over the top and stuff coming over the bottom. Just like you pop a can of biscuits. That's what it looks like. I be seeing that stuff. No. Try to your hand ain't gonna cover up that stuff. Try all you want to, it's not.
Yo. So yo.
Hey,
yeah, it should be embarrassing seeing these big ass whales in leggings. Hey, see a woman out there, she got regular people legs. You know what I'm saying? Then that top or built like a skinny waffle cone with a triple scoop on top.
Hamburger.
Yeah.
Grimace.
Yeah. What? It says and instead of a well set of hair, baldness.
Oh.
And
that's what we're going into. Yeah.
What makes them bald? The perms, the weaves.
But even before that, they were having issues growing their hair, and there were always some type of system that was catered toward the so-called black woman in their hair. You can't forget
Alopecia?
No, Ida B. Wells. No, Ida B. Wells. No, Salakia. Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah.
Who she was the hot iron, and actually they got a documentary or like a movie. It was out on Netflix. Just how she made a lot of her money.
The first millionaire.
First millionaire catering to the woman in their hair. So the hair has been a thing for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of them do got alopecia though.
Yeah,
alopecia or psoriasis.
An example of that would be Will Smith's girl.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Or the lady in Congress.
Jada Pinkett.
Presley.
Yeah.
The Congresswoman Presley. She finally took that wig off.
There's a lot of so-called black women got alopecia or psoriasis in the scalp.
Ayanna Presley. That's
So
it.
that proves that when we read Isaiah 3,
Your scalp needs to breathe, and so when you put wigs on and it's not breathing, and doing that has an issue. That's an issue that plays on you. Yeah.
Well, you know, let me see. Alopecia is a general medical term for hair loss. It can affect just your scalp or your entire body, and it may be temporary or permanent depending on the cause. Common types include male and female pattern baldness, patchy, autoimmune hair loss, and stress-induced shedding. Types of alopecia: androgenetic alopecia, the most common type, known as male-female pattern baldness driven by genetics or hormones. Alopecia areata, an autoimmune condition where the body attacks hair follicles, causing round or oval bald patches. And autoimmune, your immune system ain't right.
And because a woman should have her head covered. When I mean covered, it's like with wigs. You covering it with these those glue, stitches, and stuff like that. You know.
It's going into this. It says traction alopecia, hair loss caused by tight hairstyles that pull on the roots.
Oof.
Yeah. It says telogen effluvian, sudden temporary shedding triggered by severe physical or emotional stress. It says scarring alopecias, rare inflammatory conditions that destroy hair follicles and replace them with scar tissue.
Affect the hair growing back.
Yeah, I worked with a woman years ago. So I was just coming in to the fold, or just brought me to the fold, to the truth, and she was bald like a man. You know how a man go bald right here? His whole top be bald.
Oh.
And I seen a woman like that, you know, she literally bald and she had hair.
This one
like my man from Three Stooges.
Curly.
Yeah, curly.
Yeah.
Then my cousin mother, my uncle's, you know, woman he had kids, had my cousin by. She's like that too, where she got like her shit is just bald and she got like she got that Floyd Mayweather hair. And he trying to get his hair back.
Yeah.
It's all spotty and shit. So I was like, man, yo, but both of them women I'm just talking about, they haughty. They very whorish. All right, they very whorish. So that's going back to verse 16. Haughty, you know. And what happened? The Lord punished you for being like that. Yeah. So the Lord, it says the Lord is against pride.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Post that Bible shot on.
Yeah.
When you do the stitching.
That's
just hilarious.
Just hilarious.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. You know. So this, you know, we're gonna wrap up. You know, pretty much. Yeah, man. You know, you women out there, man. You get a man in the Lord. You know, we help you grow your hair because we know how to grow your hair. Leave them chemicals alone. Stop putting weave in your shit. And men of the Lord, you ain't gotta accept a woman putting the weave in their shit, man. Now you do how you gonna do with your woman, but you ain't gotta accept that shit. Straight up, man. You helping her out. You can show her this video. Go on Dr. Rasar Ritchie channel and play this video.
And
because
the documentary, Good or Bad Hair, one too, you know.
Cause you helping her out. Fuck around, she got cancer. She's laid up in the fucking hospital going into this, and she don't listen to you about the cancer shit. She gonna run to Esau, the physicians of no value. Run up your goddamn insurance over something she could have avoided.
Yep.
By not putting this shit in her fucking head. You know what I mean? I mean, for real, man. Like, hey, man, you women don't realize how much you need a man, especially a man in the Lord.
Well, go back to that order that we talked about in 1 Corinthians 11. Okay, Yahweh is the head of Christ. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Secret disciple, I see, huh?
No. Cut that out. I was saying that verbatim. Let's see how we said. Let me start that over again. Yahweh is the head of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the head of the man. The man is the head of the woman. Okay? What did the Lord say to us? hearken unto my words.
Good.
That not only means to hear them, but to obey them as well. And if that woman is supposed, as the scriptures say, she's submitted unto her husband as unto the Lord, you got to listen to him too, especially if he's the man of the Most High. Okay?
So our scriptures speak about teaching the women.
Yeah.
The older women teaching the younger women.
Yeah.
You know?
You pass that along.
Yep. Because our grandmother or great grandmothers, they had their natural hair.
Yeah.
They had afros and all that, you know. They had their woolly hair show.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, man don't, but back then the man didn't need all of that, man. All that Victoria's Secret stuff, didn't need all that.
You can go back and look up 1950, and then even some of the marches, and you would see the women right alongside their husbands, but they would be how they dressed. Look at how they dressed, and look at their hair.
What's her name? Angela Davis.
Yep.
And if they had straight hair, it wasn't by a perm. It was they were hot combing or straightening it through heat. Which then once the water hit or something, it go right back to his natural thing.
And this is all recent, man. Go back to the 90s and look at those talk shows. Montel Williams, Ricky Lake, even Jerry Springer. Everybody was modest and had their own hair. Just a little bit of what we call lip gloss. Now you can't tell the women from the drag queens. Everybody got on what they call them, hair hats, them helmets that they glue on the head, full of hair. All the and the makeup was actually for dead people.
Yep.
And that's the thing. You can't tell the difference between them now. You have to really look hard.
And with the Peter submissive, I think it was like the meek, quiet spirit, where he talks about the women. First Peter, chapter 3, verses. I'll read it 1. It says, and likewise, ye wives, be in subjection, and then brothers can speak on it, to your own husbands.
And subjection means, if you look up subjection, it goes to oppression, suppression, and really a woman's happy when she's under subjection of under her man.
Under his control.
Because she's under his control and she's not allowed to do all the worldly pleasure that she would do if she didn't have a husband. And she would self-destroy herself. Basically women self-destruct when they don't have a man, they don't have a husband. And with a man, they don't do that. They be modest, they be in their feminine, usually. And when she's in order, but you can be married to a woman that she ain't orderly. But the point is, when she's in the order, it's beautiful. And then when people see that woman, they like, man, I want to know how her husband is. Because she see, her friends will see her well ordered today, like a woman that's married to a man and he got her in the proper order. Usually women that's not married, they'll hate on her.
Yep.
And they'll try to pull away from her husband. You know what I'm saying? And that'll basically, they want her to be destroyed like them.
Yeah.
But when you got a woman that's sure of herself, she knows she got a good thing going on, she usually get rid of those friends. Some women, not all, but some women will get rid of those bad single friends that pull them down and fucking up their marriage. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened, man.
Okay. That's a no misery loves company.
It says that if any obey not the word, that also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives, and just the conduct of their wife. If she was in the truth and she has a husband that may not believe, right, or don't believe. But it says, while they behold your chastened conversation coupled with fear, it says, whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair, and of wearing of gold, and of putting on of apparel, and that's what they do out in the world.
Yep.
They put on all this they dress up nice and do all of that.
Hair done.
And then the next part it says, verse 4, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, your mind, that in that which is not corrupted, even an ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High a great price.
Yeah, verse 2, it goes into, it says, chase and conversation coupled with fear. It goes into having a reverence for her husband.
God.
As we have a reverence for Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, a woman's supposed to have reverence of her husband.
God.
That's why being shamefaced is so important. You know, it says shamefaced woman is what? A double grace. I think it says in Sirach 26, a double grace. You know, so that's man, a woman in the order is beautiful, man. But when you not in your order, you out in this world, you're going to be swallowed up by this world.
Was that a mind well instructed?
Yep, Sirach 26. I'll get it. Let me close on that.
Then I had one about her being in order.
Well, let me get this since you said shamefaced, because here's the opposite end of it. It says, Sirach 26 and 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, which would be a bitch. Yeah. It says, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
I read verse 26 too.
Verse 26.
That's the point.
Verse 26. And a woman that honoreth her husband.
Reverence. She knows what her husband taught her. She keep it in mind. So anytime she out in public without him, she know, well, I represent my husband.
That's that Proverbs 31 I read earlier.
See, it says reverence of her husband, right? Peter, we reading in Peter, right? See, having fear of her husband, or a woman having fear of her husband is not a bad thing. She not going to be in fear. No, you know what I'm talking. You ain't her father. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. A woman's supposed to be in fear of her husband.
Okay.
We fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
And that, like you said,
And if we
you
made,
want to make that distinction. That fear is reverence, not to be scared, because the Lord said, "I'm not giving you a spirit of fear." So you notice, even though it's the same word, it has two different applicable definitions. Okay?
but she's supposed to be in fear of what blowback her husband get.
Yeah.
Of her being disorderly.
Yeah.
Because like in ancient world, a woman dishonor her father or husband. That was like, man, a grave sentence.
Well, yeah, it's like you spit her in the face. You spit her in the face.
You spit on the slapper.
Let's do something. Yeah.
That's like the most disrespect ever.
Stone.
Yeah, she gets stoned. You know. So hey, go ahead.
Yeah.
Did I
was it
finish
done?
that?
Yeah, finish that.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, verse 26.
Yeah, let me go back to it. Give me 1 second. Salakia. I just wanted to. Let me get this real quick because I made that mention. I just want to bring it out. This is Numbers 12 verse 14. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, she should not be ashamed 7 days." It says, "Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received again." And that was just going into verse 4.
Yeah, Miriam.
Yep, this was Miriam. She was out of order. So just was saying, like, it's like your father to spit in your face. You feel ashamed how you done made your father, look like a laughing stock, right? So you would feel ashamed of that, and then much more because your father then married you off to a husband, and now you're like, the man is going to the father like, this is who you gave me. She out of order, completely out of order. Just go ahead, you got it.
No. I was gonna say, I was say, she was out of order because she was speaking against Moses.
Yeah.
Her and Aaron, but who was punished? She was, because she, being the woman, she totally out of fucking order.
Yeah. Let the woman remain silent in the church.
All right.
Yep. So I get that. I'll go back to that other scripture.
Congregation in the Old Testament.
Sirach 26 verse 26. A woman. Oh shoot. Yeah, there it is. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride. Pride
is hateful before the Most High man.
Shall be counted ungodly of all. And what is the punishment of an ungodly?
Death.
Yeah.
Period. We gotta go.
Yeah. This is back up. This is Sirach 25 and 25. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman the liberty to gad abroad. You know, and like, let's say if you got a dam, you know, if that water's not restrained, you know, it's gonna go through and fuck everything up. Or for example, you live in a home and one of your pipes freeze and burst.
Well, look at Katrina.
Yeah.
Dams broke.
Yeah, levees. Yeah,
The levees
broke.
Yeah, the levees broke.
That says, give neither a wicked woman the freedom to gad abroad. She's go around destroying everything.
Her, the kids.
Yeah. Again, goes back to that saying. You know, you had, I think you had a scripture for it. Mary McLeod Bethune said, "The true measure of a race is judged by the character of its woman." You know, and you see that. You got these YNs out here. You know, young dudes with this female emotion. You know, just a mess, man. Just a mess. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Abab Babal.
Abab Babal.
Shalom to sincere elect brothers and sisters on the comment board. We got next. Shalom.
Shalom.